Today's Pet Advice segment is sponsored by University Veterinary Care Center. Well, you bundle up with your boots and gloves before you head out in the cold, but what about our pets? Dr. Travis Gratton with University Veterinary Care Center is joining us live from our remote studio with tips for caring for our pets' paws during winter weather. Dr. Gratton, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, my dog Molly had the best time playing in the snow recently. She didn't seem to care that it was cold and that she could see that the snow was on the ground, but is that a concern?
It certainly can be, but boy, it is fun watching them out playing in the snow, and that first big one like we had on New Year's Day there, especially those young ones who have never seen snow before. They're just hilarious to watch them play around. That nice, soft, fluffy snow, other than, it hides some of the terrain underneath, usually isn't too much of a concern, but, definitely want to watch, be more careful on the ice, in the slush, in the, when we get into that kind of freeze-thaw cycle, when things start to get crusty and hard and you get ice particles and whatnot, it can be a little more irritating to feet.
Well, what are some other things that we can do to prevent problems for our pets?
Well, certainly things to think about. Like my two little ones are basically couch potatoes. They live on nice soft surfaces and smooth floors in the house. So I do like to keep some of the hair clipped out from under the feet and below or between the pads and that, just so that when they are going out in the snow, they're not packing snow in, which then starts to melt and they become these little ice balls in between and the pads and under the feet. Definitely want to make sure we're cleaning feet off as they come out. If we're going for walks, avoid the slush, the standing water, because as the feet and legs get wet, then they get cold faster, especially if we get that wind blowing on wet skin without the insulation of the fur.
Well, what about ice melt? Is that bad for their paws?
Oh, definitely want to try to avoid the ice melts, whether it's salt, the old rock salt formulations, or some of the newer calcium chloride type ones. They can definitely be very irritating, very drying to not just the pads, but also the skin on the bottom of the feet. There are some pet-safe products out there, and so if you're doing your own sidewalks or driveway and dogs are going to be out on it, definitely look for those products. Like a lot of the ice melt stuff, sometimes they get in short supply if you wait too long, so stock up early.
All right, good tips for us. And Dr. Gratton, we thank you for being with us today. For more information about University Veterinary Care Center, head over to universityvetcare.com.